So part of my journey has been about self-discovery. I got started almost exactly 6 years ago on my fitness journey. I didn't realize that investing in myself and working on getting more physically fit would lead to such like exponential personal growth. But once you start doing one thing that betters yourself and you start finding confidence that way, it's easy to start taking steps to better yourself in other avenues of your life. So in 2012, I started working out. I started getting more healthy, becoming fit. My confidence started to rise. And then I started to think like, well, I can do more. Like I can do so much more. I had a huge turn of events in my life in 2015, starting with separating from my husband, really both of us finally identifying and tackling head on our mental illness and finding different ways to cope. And really that started my sobriety and my recovery. And so my recovery was not just from alcohol, but just toxic behaviors, toxic relationships, toxic friendships, toxic things that I was doing that was sabotaging my success and future success. When I was in treatment, I found this book, which is called The Language of Letting Go. I suffered from codependent relationships because it was easy to depend on other people because then I could always play the victim. It was easy to get in codependent relationships where I play the martyr, where I was always investing in them, where I was using all my energy trying to fix everybody else to avoid fixing myself. And so this book has really helped. And a lot of the things that are talked about in this book is basically like a daily affirmation book. There's 365 different, passages and topics, but it applies to recovery, even though it's based on codependent relationships and distancing yourself from that. It talks about the 12 steps, so it can apply to any type of addiction you have, whether it be to gambling, to sex, to bad relationships, to drugs, to alcohol, to whatever it is. You can apply these principles. But one that I just recently read was about rejecting shame. And so if you have done any type of like self-help, personal growth, personal development, you may have run across Brene Brown, and she's somebody that really helped me understand the principles of shame and vulnerability and where it led. I know that I've seen tremendous growth myself and been able to heal because I have let go of shame. I have let go of the fear of the skeletons in the closet. I have become so secure with who I am that I open up and share the things that have happened to me and the mistakes that I have made because it's helped heal me and it's helped other people. And I've always, not always, but I have believed in the last few years that my pain would have been for nothing if I didn't share the lessons that I learned from it. So I wanted to share with you guys this passage about rejecting shame. It says, shame can be a powerful force in our life. It is the trademark of dysfunctional families. Authentic, legitimate guilt is the feeling or thought that what we did is not okay. It indicates that our behavior needs to be corrected or altered, or an amend needs to be made. Shame is an overwhelming negative sense that who we are isn't okay. Shame is a no-win situation. We can change our behaviors, but we can't change who we are. Shame can propel us deeper into self-defeating and sometimes self-destructive behaviors. What are the things that cause us to feel shame? We may feel ashamed when we have a problem or when someone we love has a problem. We may feel ashamed for making mistakes or for succeeding. We may feel ashamed about uncertain feelings or thoughts. We may feel ashamed when we have fun, feel good, or are vulnerable enough to show ourselves to others. Some of us feel ashamed just for being. Shame is a spell others put on us to control us, to keep us playing our part in dysfunctional systems. It is a spell many of us have learned to put on ourselves. Learning to reject shame can change the quality of our life. It's okay to be who we are. We are good enough. Our feelings are okay. Our past is okay. It's okay to have problems, mistakes, and struggle to find our path. It's okay to be human and cherish our humanness. Accepting ourselves is the first step toward recovery. Letting go of shame about who we are is the next important step. This is something that is so important to what I do, is that, I used to feel ashamed at first about getting fit because people would make fun of me because they used that as a way to control me, to try to stop what I was doing because I made them feel bad about themselves. Shame for me was something at one point in time I would make fun of people who were sober because it made me feel uncomfortable. I was on the other end. And then when I got sober, I had the same thing happen to me. And I have lived a life of feeling shame from the way I perceived myself as an adoptee, the way I was treated by my adoptive parents, the way people have treated me for not looking like them or acting like them or talking like them or thinking like them. And shame is so prevalent in our society. People will try to shame you and make you feel guilty for who you are, what you stand for. But really, things like this book, and the fact that I shared earlier that I got a new book in the mail that I'm going to start reading. These things are things that I'm working on to fix myself so that I don't feel like I need approval from anybody else. I used to think that self-help was for weak people. I had different stories of what I told myself, but now I'm realizing that because I care about myself, I'm willing to invest in myself, and I don't care what anybody else thinks because they don't know my journey and they don't want maybe the same things that I do, and that's okay. And so if you've never read a self-help book or a personal development book, I really invite you to open up to the idea of doing that. And now the books that I'm reading might not speak to you, but there is something out there that I know that can help strengthen you or help heal you, because none of us are immune from pain or things that have affected us negatively in our past. So anyways, I just like to share this because I know so many people hide because somebody has shamed them or they are their own worst enemy and shame themselves. So I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, let me know.